So welcome to this kind of features review of Football Manager 19. So far there's been a few features announced, and actually someone requested me talk about what I thought of the new features and in FM19. So I thought, do you know what? I've never done one of these before, so let's give it a go. So first off, we're going to talk about the new UI system, so the user interface system. So it's got a complete new refresh. As you know, they've got a new logo. They've ditched the manager, the suit manager that you see in front of all the games and advertisements. They've ditched all that. They've gone fresh. They've gone new, and I'm going to say I'm impressed. They've used purple, as you can see from the pictures. They've used purple as their primary colour, and then the background is actually the colour of the club that you support, that you're playing as. So the examples they've got here for us are Watford and AFC Wimbledon, and as you can see, if you're a save as Wimbledon, you've got that kind of blue, and then you've got that really kind of pale yellow for Watford. And it's the same if you go and then manage Chelsea, you'll get the royal blue. You know, if it's the same if you get Man City, you get the sky blue. So you know, you're gonna be able to, as the video for the feature said, you're gonna notice a difference between your saves. And I'm a big fan of the dark skin, if you've watched any of my YouTube videos. So kind of having it as a purple, it is all gonna be good for me. I like the purple. It's a big plus for me. We're gonna take a look at the training revamp that they've done. So it's been a complete overhaul of the training. Training is now 3 sessions per day rather than the 1 session you had. There's more customizable options on it. So there's a more detailed option rather than just a general attack, defense, tactics, you know, what was in the old games. I'm a fan of this because I'm not a big fan of just the one thing, and I always found that if you had to train quite lengthy to get something to work. So if you were doing like tactics training, it took forever to try and get it to work. If you wanted to do something else, you had to get something there. So for me, it's a big plus that they've actually done a 3 sessions per day thing. And not only that, what they've said now is that you can go into the options a bit more. So it's more, if you choose like an attacking, you know, you're going to have attacking and a defensive unit defending the attacking. So they're going to get 2 benefits out of it and such. Which brings me on to now that the teams are actually in units, so that you can put them into specific units. So your goalkeepers in goalkeeping, attacking and defensive. Best thing about this as well, you can change them. So if you've got a defensive midfielder and you think, actually I want him to be more midfield focused, maybe go to attack, you can drop him in the attacking unit. Vice versa, if you've got an attacker that you think maybe you want a bit more defence from, you can drop him into the defence unit. Or if you wanted a goalkeeper to go out as a striker, I'm pretty sure you could probably drop him into the attacking unit as well. I mean, I don't know, but I think that is pretty decent as well. So like you said, if you're doing, if we look at the attacking's wings, for existence, they'll probably do, there's a slide there that says defending wide, so you'll probably have the attacking wings, and then the defensive unit will be doing the defending side. So they're getting the 2 benefits out of that, and I think that is only a plus in training, which, to be fair, it'll probably bring me more out of me as a tracksuit manager than the tactical manager or the suit manager that I've been previously. You also have to work with your physio and, you know, your coaches and everything for rest days, because apparently they're going to take into consideration your travel time to and from games. So if you're playing away, you're going to have that type of fatigue, you know, going to the game, trying to recover, play the match, and then return back. So you have to work with your physios as well, which I think is going to be great as well. So you'll be taking on advice from the physios, the sports scientists, and the coaches. So I think training is getting more and more feel like an actual everyday club thing. There's another system on here as well, which is the mentoring groups. So now the mentoring groups can have 3 players in it. So you can have like a young player and 2 two older players, and they can take traits from both the players. So you can really mould, right? So say if you had Ronaldo and Messi in your same team, and you wanted the player to learn from both of them, I mean, you could have an immense player if you had both of them there. And that's what you can do. As you can see, they've used Tom Cleverley, Troy Deeney in this slide, with Isaac's success, who is, to be fair, a starting striker anyway. But because they're too old, the two older players there, they can say, well, look, this is how we play, kind of, take our things on board. So, again, I think the training overhaul has amazingly been revamped, and I'm actually looking forward to using it in the next year. So that'll be very much one to look out for. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the new VAR feature in the game. So they've kind of taken on real life and said, look, VAR's out there, goal line technology's out there, we're going to add this into the game. Now I think that's, the goal line technology is a great addition, but I don't know how it's going to be used, and I think unless they've added more goal line clearances and made it a bit more clearer if it's a goal or not a goal. So that would be great to look at, see how that integrates and that works. They've also done the VAR clip of a penalty decision. Now I'm going to play it, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch this with you, and I'm going to describe what I think is a flaw with this VAR. But again, it's a new feature, they can only develop on it and it can make it better. So have a look at this. So first off, if you didn't notice, the referee did actually do a VAR sign as he gave the penalty, as the decision went down. So have a look here. When he turns, there, he's just done the VAR symbol. So he's running over now to look at the incident. Stands there for a couple of seconds. Right. Turns, makes a decision, gives the penalty. Now, ideally, it's great. It looks brilliant. That's what it should be. Brilliant. That's how it should look. You should be. That's how VAR looks. However, with the FIFA World Cup, when the VAR decision was made, you got the graphics. It was in the stadium. It was well announced. I think they need to bring that into this scenario as well. So bring in maybe the VAR video refs looking at the incident and that thing, because otherwise just going and saying, it's going to waste 10 to 15 seconds that I don't really care for. So I think they need to work on that, maybe try and make that a bit more interesting. I'll be excited to see how that works and how many penalties are given because of VAR and everything like that. Brilliant. Other things to talk about in the VAR situation. So we've got the goal line technology, but we've also, the match engine, shall we say. So they've revamped it now, so the team talks now include the hierarchy in there, so you can see who your influential players are and how they react when you kind of give an order or something. So that can only be better, and to be fair, I quite like the look of that. They've also, to be fair, looking at the back of that, seeing the dressing room looks quite cool. I like that. That looks good. It's a good visual for me. But also looking at the match engine, they said that they've done stadium improvements to stadiums, especially if you're a lower league team and say you've got a 5,000 seater stadium or a 5,000 crowd capacity stadium, you're going to notice big improvements with the stadium. So I'm hoping that is the case, because doing my To The Prem series where I'm ranked bottom lower, the lowest of the low leagues, and then work my way up, stadiums don't look that great. So that can only be better, that's for sure. Finally, before we move finally on to the tactics screen and talk about that, we've got two more things to talk about. First off, I'm going to talk about the manager induction training or such that you get. So for me, I think it's a good thing, especially if you're new to the game and you don't know how to play the game. It's very good to give you, it's basically just replacing the tutorials that you got every game. So yeah, I think it can only be a good thing. I might use it to start with because obviously they're bringing in new training and new tactics, so I kind of would like to see how everything works. But other than that, I don't think I'll be using the managerial induction too much. So yeah, for me, I'm happy with it. It's not going to affect me majorly, but you know, it is there to be used, and who knows, I may actually use it for certain things. I might even use the whole thing just to try and see what I can do better. But there we go. Moving on to tactics. Now, they've done an absolute revamp of the tactics system. Bit complicated for me to work out, because before I entered Football Manager World Esports Championships, the FM WEC tournament that Dan Fry won back in April, I never really used the tactics system. I literally just done my standard, flexible, and then just do the formation. That was it. That was the only thing I did, was the formation. But since FM WEC and the tournament that BidStack put on, I've actually been open to the world of tactics and actually use the tactics a lot more, because I actually see the beneficial side of it. So big thank you to BidStack for opening my eyes to that. But one thing that I've picked up, or a couple of things that I've picked up from the new tactics, is that instantly, if you want to play the tick-attacker, or you know, basically the gegenpress, you know, the tactics that are famous around the world for things like the Barcelona's tick-attacker, you can actually choose them straight away. I think that's pretty cool, and then that means you've got kind of set tactics already done, which for me is brilliant. I'll probably still mess around with the tactics system and try and play with some fluidity tactics and that, but I don't know. The other thing I like about the tactics system is this new player role thing. So they've got this, so for one thing, there's a pressing forward is a new role in attack. Defensive, the no-nonsense fullback, or the no-nonsense centre-back. For me, that is pretty cool, because that's all I want. I want someone just to tackle, boot it out, or whatever. No nonsense. Just get the job done. So I think that'll be pretty cool to see, and see how many people actually have the no-nonsense tactic in there. So yeah, they are the main features that are there. One feature I will talk about, because obviously it's one of their big things, is they've signed the license for the Bundesliga, which they haven't done in years. I don't really play the Bundesliga, so for me, it's not really going to be a major thing for me. I mean, it's great because obviously we've got the Championship and the EFL. I'd love to see the Premier League license in. I did actually tweet about it the other day when I saw the Watford logo, but didn't actually realise that Watford was a licensed team on Football Manager. But obviously I should have known that, because Miles is a big Watford fan. Of course, he'll have signed Watford as a licensed team. So yeah, what I'd like to see though is the Premier League team license. But for the Bundesliga, it's great that they've got the face packs, the logos, and the kits and everything in there. I honestly don't think it's going to be a big thing for me. It may be for FM Trequista. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. He's doing a current Magdeburg save up until the FM19. Don't know if he'll be carrying on. I think he's doing some sort of Italian save in Football Manager 19. I'm still going to be doing my lower league saves, but I may not be going lower than the Vanarama National or the Vanarama North South leagues. I haven't decided yet, but there we go. So that are the new features from my perspective on Football Manager 19. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I've managed to insight you some way, maybe give you an insight of what maybe is coming in Football Manager 19. If you've liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Give it a share as well, so I can get more people to watch the channel. And yeah, here's looking forward to Football Manager 19.